I've got 4 mystery programs here. We did this the other night, and I come to find out I got 4 more of them that I really don't know what to expect. Now, this is not a negative segment. It's not a positive segment. It's kind of an either or. When I'm throwing these programs at you, it means I really don't know what to expect in the immediate future. And one of them is Auburn. The Auburn Tigers killing it kind of in the transfer portal right now. And got a new head coach in Hugh Freeze. And it's the 4th head coach in the past 10 years there. Certainly that's not the model of stability. And so there are plenty of reasons why you can look at Auburn and you could say, ooh, I don't expect anything in the immediate future. But then there's this other side of the proverbial coin where you can look around and you can say, well, if Hugh Freeze won, it wouldn't be the first time he's done it in the SEC. And if Hugh Freeze won, it wouldn't be the first time a head coach has taken over a program and just out of nowhere, think Sonny Dykes, for example, has taken them to all kinds of unforeseen heights. So there's a lot potentially in the cards. I have no clue. Like Robbie Ashford. Robbie Ashford has not exactly dented the college football record books to this point in his career. And yet, if you were to show me a fast forward to November and Robbie Ashford's putting up all kinds of ridiculous numbers you never expected, it wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't shock me because he's a really good athlete. And he's playing for a guy who has made stars out of those kinds of players before. You're also in a situation right now where Alabama, at least over the past season, did not exactly perform at the level we thought they would. LSU is your most recent Western Division champ, so there's not necessarily a stranglehold that any one program has on the division. There's certainly still a pole position, and that is still the University of Alabama. But all that, there's some good, there's some bad. Hey, really all I have to tell you is it's Auburn. Volatility is the name of the game down there. But they are doing, via the transfer portal, what they need to do to get ready for this year. You know, because really, no one wants to hear, just wait till 2025. Just wait till 2025. What about 2023, 2024? That's what we're interested in. We have to go to Des Moines, Iowa. Chris Hassel country, if you will. I knew Kirk Ferentz had been at Iowa a long time. Anyone who watches college football, you know, basically like death, taxes, Kirk Ferentz, that whole mantra. He's been there a long time. I didn't realize how long he's been at Iowa. If you were to just have to guess, minus the benefit of Wikipedia, how long do you think Kirk Ferentz has been at Iowa? What would your guess be? 10 years, 20 years? What would your guess be? Here's the answer. 1999 is when he got there. Kirk Ferentz was preparing for Y2K at the same job he's still at today. That guy's been there since 1999. That's a long time. It's a long time to just be alive, period. It's a very long time to hold a major head coaching position. And yet I've always looked at the program and I felt it's one of the models of stability in college football. So why in the world is it in a segment on Late Kick in the year of our Lord 2023 about mystery programs? Well, this program's kind of a mystery right now because I don't think you could suck water through a garden hose offensively like they just did, make no coordinator change, and look at me and say, we'll be fine. No, you won't. No, you won't. This is historic ineptitude offensively. 7-7. What does that sound like? Well, it sounds like a Mets versus Phillies game in the middle of the 8th inning. 7-7 was the touchdown to interception ratio for Iowa quarterbacks. Not in November, not in a game, in the entire season. They threw 7 touchdown passes and 7 interceptions. You may think, that's just because Iowa runs the ball, Josh. No, Iowa doesn't run the ball. They ran it 2.92 yards per carry this year. So basically, if defense wasn't scoring, Iowa wasn't scoring. Now, that wouldn't be the first time that an offense has sucked. It is pretty rare, though, that you perform like that, and then the same guy who was at the helm comes back. And it's even more rare that it happens to be the head coach's son. And so I don't want to cry nepotism. Far be it from me to cry that. But there is an episode of The Office titled Nepotism. And what happens there is Michael hires his nephew, and it's a slippery slope to him physically spanking him and getting reprimanded by HR. So I'm not telling Kirk Ferentz to do anything that's going to get him in hot water with HR. I'm just saying that's not good enough, and Iowa, as a result, has slipped into the realm of mystery programs for the time being. I don't want to do the next part either. It's another program I like. But Arkansas is kind of a mystery to me at the moment. It went 9-4 in 2021. There's no mystery about that. That's a really, really good season. 3 of the 4 losses were to ranked teams. Really, really good season. Okay, you draw Georgia, you draw Bama, and you are in the position they were in. I don't expect much from you. Just win the other games, and they pretty much did. And so they were coming into this past year, and there was a lot of hype around the program, as there should have been. I felt it. I contributed to it, and they went 7-6. Devil is always in the details. KJ Jefferson was either out or not 100% for most of the year. I thought it cost them when they lost that game to Texas A&M. A game that they very much, in my mind, should have won because they put themselves in the position. They should have executed at a better level. I know they didn't. I rarely use the phrase should have won because the follow-up naturally is, well, if they should have won, they would have won. And you're not wrong when you say that. I'm just saying if I play that game 10 times, they're winning it more than 5 of them. But be that as it may, they lost that day. And things were never right since then. There were issues internally up there this year. I didn't speak about them during the season. It's not the season anymore. I don't think internally the locker room was handled in the best way imaginable. I think they had some issues internally that probably caused a lot of dissension, and it's not all on players. Some of it was on staff. Part of that is not there anymore because some of those players and staff have either moved on or been unceremoniously let go. There were a lot of things going on up there, not the least of which were injuries. And so they ended 7-6. Now, I could sell you both ways. I could sell you that 9-4, maybe you should have enjoyed that because that's the best you're going to see. I could also sell you that this was a blip on the radar screen and they'll be right back. And the reason I am doing this segment right now is because I am conflicted and I don't know which way I go on this. There's some staff churn happening there. Barry Odom, defensive coordinator, he went to UNLV. So Travis Williams came in. It's an interesting hire. It's a hire that raised some eyebrows for good reasons around the SEC. Kendall Briles' name is still in the rumor mill at places like TCU. I don't know what's going to happen there. I owe him a Pate State t-shirt, I know that. But I don't know what's going to happen there. And strength and conditioning is being overhauled there. They're bringing in a new strength and conditioning coach. That's a very, very underreported but very important aspect of your program. So at least 2 of those facets, if not all 3, we'll see what happens with Briles, are changing up there. Now, the good news is your quarterback's coming back. I keep doing that because I have an itch on the top of my lip. The quarterback's coming back. KJ Jefferson's coming back, hopefully with full health. It's a mystery program. And lastly, I have to do like an extended 2 or 3 year mystery period on this one. Virginia Tech. That's a cool looking plane. Virginia Tech. There's the Virginia Tech young JP remembers, and then there's the Virginia Tech that exists today. We got a really big high school and college audience. So let me talk to you guys for a second. Take care of business in spring semester is my first message to you. And my second message is there was a time when this VT logo meant a whole lot more in the college football world than it does right now. They were a national power. That team right there was in the national championship conversation. They were in the national championship game one year. An ugly one, a 13-2 game, I believe was the final, but they were in one. And not so much anymore. Hey, Jesse, check that for me, because if I got that score wrong, if I got my years wrong, someone's going to jump on me. So the year that Vic and Virginia Tech were in the title game, just go check the score for me, because I think Oklahoma FSU may have been that 13-2 game. Anyway, it's true they were in the title game. They are nowhere remotely close to being in the same galaxy. They're light years away from that kind of conversation right now. But I don't know what to make of them because they just made a staff change. Brent Pry's been there 1 year. They just went 3-8. That is the worst record they've put up since 1992. So they got that going against them. I guess you do have the good old-fashioned there's nowhere to go but up going for them. 2000 title game. What was the score? 46-29. It was FSU, right? FSU, okay. So they scored more than 2. Congrats. They still lost. Also, children, if you never watched Michael Vick in college, do yourself a favor and go watch that as well. So it is always the darkest before the dawn. Well, scratch that. Sometimes it's the darkest before the dawn. Other times it's dark just because you've been buried and you're not coming back. And I hope that's not the case for the Virginia Tech program. But man, it feels like there is a ways to go there right now. It's a mystery. It is a great mystery.
Thanks for watching, guys. Don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. Make sure you like the video and please subscribe to the channel. Not just for me, that's how we keep this entire thing free.